Welcome everyone, this is Evelyn. Wow, it's the 17th today, and boy did it bring through some star information, some major downloads. I can't wait to bring them to you today. I have my 3-deck read from Metatron, Nature's Whispers, and Shaman Dreams, as well as my 7-deck read on the table. But a lot came through today, so I want to get right into it. Let's go ahead and take a few deep breaths first. Another deep breath. And one more deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope you're having a beautiful day. It is very sunny and kind of humid. It's been really dry the past week, and it's really humid and muggy today. There's definitely storms that have been coming in and out. I think just quick ones. All right. And first, before I forget, I told you I'd show you this purification I did with my daughter. If you want to check it out, it's a parasite cleanse. And it's not cheap. It was between $40 and $50. But if you're interested, I did want to show it to you because I promised I would. So this is the name of the vitamin that I took. It says to help support a healthier balance of internal organisms, but it's considered a purified parasite cleanse. It's totally vegetarian. It's not labeled organic. It does say, no, it doesn't say there. No, it says made with certified organic and wild harvested ingredients, so probably both. Oh, it is labeled organic. Organic, all natural, GMP, and GMO free. There you go. All right, so that's that. We're going to roll the die. I'm going to show you my pictures of the cards. Really, wow, Betelgeuse came up in a major way today, so I really want to get into that. Today is the 17th, and the day adds up to the 30, which is the union. The 17 is the star, and dreams coming true. And 717 is a major day for me, for sure. Yeah, all right, so let's roll the die first. For the twin flames on this 17th of July, 2022. 22 came up mega today. Okay, for the twin flames, July 17th, 2022. This came up between 5 and 9, actually. 9 to 5 came up. Aries is right here. So Aries is the ram. It's also that new start energy. It's the beginning of the cycle. It's that energy of Mars, very aggressive. And then we have the Jupiter energy here, which always looks like a number 4 to me. But Jupiter is Sagittarius, and it's also expansion. It's a benevolent planet of expansion, knowledge, expanding anything really. And so we have the expanding of the ram, and then we have the 9 to 5 here, right? So we have the 5 and then the 9 over here. So perhaps that energy of the 9 to 5 energies of work, but also the 5 is the Hierophant and the 9 is the Hermit. So Taurus and Virgo energies, along with Sagittarius and Aries. So earth and fire. Also, the 5 is the Hierophant. I already said it's Taurus, but that would be a fixed sign. Sagittarius is mutable and Aries is cardinal, so there's a good balance in that respect. And then the 9 that came up is Virgo, which is also mutable. So there are the energies. It's all fire and earth, which is very drying, the drought that we've been having. So let's see what comes up. All right, so we have the the first read with my 3 decks. Okay, we have the Metatron deck up top. The left is the underlying energies. I went 4 cards down today for each deck. And then at the end, there's a pile that I end up having to count how many cards. Here's one pile, and then the next pile's here, and the third pile's down here at the bottom. And guess how many, or the number that they added up to, all 3 of them were the same. 22. Crazy. I'm going to bring it up closely for the Nature's Whispers deck because it's very detailed, so you can see the cards. So again, Metatron, Nature's Whispers, and then the Shaman Dreams deck at the bottom. And they were just pulled organically the way they came out, whether it was 1 or 2 at a time or 3 at a time. And this was done at, I dealt the cards 10-10 this morning to 10-14. The 10-10 is the 2 Wheels of Fortune, and the 14 is the Temperance card, that higher love of balance and patience and taking one step at a time, and that higher love. And again, this is a Metatron deck with 22 pile cards, and Nature Whispers 22 pile cards, and Shaman 22 pile cards. The underlying energy was from the Mother Aqua Rose Gold Heart of love and the number 6 to the wake-up call of the 11 of justice, truth, and balance and alignment, to align, listen, and take note. From the indigo to the star, the 21, and as soon as I got that, going from the 21, we're going to the 22 and Betelgeuse. Betelgeuse came right up right there for me, and that was at 10-19, which is the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, the 19 of the Sun, very powerful energies, to 2 diamonds in the sky. So again, the 2 diamonds coming together like the Vesica Pisces, only in the diamond shape. The twin flames untying the knots, and the Star of Bethlehem. I was getting right away that the Star of Bethlehem, because that came up yesterday, was they were telling me that that was actually Betelgeuse. The Star of Bethlehem thought to be a nova or supernova, but then that was ruled out because it would have left behind some kind of trail. The white dwarf that would literally explode. So they said it would have left a remnant, so that seems to have been ruled out. In the Gospel of Matthew, the Star of Bethlehem guided the 3 magi or wise men to Jerusalem 2,000 years ago. From space.com, they probably were astrologers and following an alignment of planets and stars leading to King Herod. Like the April 17th, 6 BC, with the moon passing Jupiter in Aries, could be heralded as the birth of Christ. Could have been a conjunction as well, where Jupiter, Saturn, the moon, and the sun came together in the constellation of Aries on April 7th of 6 BC in the early AM. Also, Jupiter, Venus, and Regulus in Leo constellation on June 17th, 2 BC, but you know, they're comparing the different things because no one's decided actually when Jesus was born. So they're going through some of the different arrangements and how that would work out. So also, Betelgeuse is between the 2 major stars it's between is Aldebaran and Sirius. And remember, Betelgeuse is part of the Orion, which is that major portal in the kind of the center of our galaxy, and it's also the shape of the Taurus, of the toroidal field. So Betelgeuse is the right shoulder of Orion, between Aldebaran and Sirius, and is the 10th brightest star in the night sky. After Rigel, which is also in Orion, the reddish semi-regular variable star has the widest range displayed by any first magnitude star. At near infrared wavelengths, Betelgeuse is the brightest star in the night sky. The red supergiant spectral type, MI-2 I think I wrote, is about 10 to 20 times our sun and 500 to 600 light years from the sun. The absolute magnitude is about -6 point less than 10 million years old. Expected to supernova within the next 100,000 years, and ejected from their birthplace of Orion OB1, so Obi-Wan Kenobi is coming up here, associated, and this runaway star has been observed moving through the interstellar medium at a speed of 30, which is the union, kilometers per second, creating a bow shock, whether it's the bow or a bridge, that the line is always curved, right? The sine wave, over 4 light years wide. So considered not really it's not exactly spherical. So limb darkening, pulsations, and varying appearance at different wavelengths, surrounded by complex asymmetric envelope, which is about 250 times the size of the star, caused by mass loss from the actual star itself. But starting in October of 19, which I just brought up the time, 10/19, in October of 19 to February of 20, that star, Betelgeuse, seemed to start to dim from a magnitude of 0.5 to 1.7 and stopped dimming on February 22nd, 2020, which is right when they started announcing the COVID stuff. And from October, because COVID was out already at least in December, so October 19th to February 2020 is when it started dulling. And they're saying some of the causes could be, one of the causes was dust. So I'm wondering what they were doing that caused this dust, okay? So February 22, 2020, it stopped dimming and then brightened again, as it was reported later on February 25th this year, 22. Perhaps it was something they call extinction, or again a dust wave that came by. The hand of Al-Jauze, which is Orion, which is orange tawny color, but it could have been a yellow color in the Christian era. It actually comes up as being yellow, not orange, which is very interesting, right? Because the Star of Bethlehem would have synced with that. And this was at 10:55, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and 55 of the Truth, the Excalibur, the Ace of Swords. So from observadors, DORES, -comet as.com. So observadores cometas, I guess it's Spanish or whatever, .com. It's 310 to 47 of 5 BC. There was a comet visible, so a lot of them argue that that's the time that Jesus was born. It was around for about 70 days, and it was close to Alpha and Beta Capricorni, which we had that Capricorn conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn and Pluto, I guess, at one time back in 2020, right? But back then they also they would use comets to describe supernovas back then. So even if they called something a comet, it might have been a supernova. And then something that came up in the same website here talks about the 3 priests, that they were Zoroastrian priests from northern Persia, not from Babylonia. And they talked about the star SAO 144-144. And I couldn't find out much about it or where it was. I think I did find out what constellation it was in later in my read today, but not exactly which star. And then also Nova Herculis 1991, which was V838 Hercules. By the way, we started this video at 338, and it just talked about 838 Hercules. The fastest decline of any known nova of 3 magnitude in 2.8 days, and it's the 3 of Mother Earth and abundance of the 3 Empress, and the 2.8, which is the 28 of the twin flames. So again, the Hercules is saying it was the fastest declining nova that decreased 3 magnitude in 2.8 days. So then from BaptistBoard.com, what came up was local time of twilight in Tehran was, they were giving the different nautical and astrological, or astronomical twilight, I guess. So again, March 1st BC, they're going again through 5 BC and the different timelines there of when Jesus could have been born. But I really don't want to go there because you can go on about that forever. So I went into this other website called frostydrew.org. Drew is DREW.org. It's an observatory and sky theater. And the Aquila constellation came up with that SAO 144, 144. So it's in the Aquila constellation, but I'm not sure which star it was. But when I went into Aquila, it is the eagle. It flies opposite the swan, or Cygnus, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. And again, it's part of the summer triangle with Altair, Cygnus, and which is Deneb, and then Lyra, which is Vega. And there's also a dark nebula that came up that was B143-4, which I thought that was the nebula there because it was coming up as 144. But when I looked up that, it wasn't saying anything about that either. So the eagle was to carry Ganymede, which is Jupiter's moon, to Olympus to be the cupbearer of the gods because they were so enamored by this boy. Altair means flying eagle or vulture, which is so funny because I always talk about in my cards that the vulture is actually like an old eagle. But it's either way referred to as the eagle star. So from astrobackyard.com, back to Betelgeuse again, it rises in the east just after the sunset begins of January each year. It's visual to all mid-September through mid-March, and it's best seen mid-December, which is of course Christmas time. The giant's shoulder it's considered as, or the armpit of Orion, the hand of Orion. It's actually the right shoulder. And from the website but-that'sjustme.com, Betelgeuse means, quote unquote, the coming of the branch. And this is from Mal 3.2. And they spelled Betelgeuse, Betelgeuse. He is, so this person that Orion is, they call him the hunter, but here they do not. They said he is Ha-ga-T, that's H-A-G-A-T, he who triumphs. Orion was spelled O-A-R, as in the or, and then I-O-N, from the Hebrew root, which equals light, coming forth as light. The ancient Akkadian war, I don't know if I wrote war, Akkadian war, or version, was U-R-A-N-A, the light of heaven. So the right shoulder is Betelgeuse, the left shoulder is Bellatrix. And then of course Rigel's in there too at the left ankle. And then we have the fourth, which we'll bring up in a second, at the bottom of Orion as the other leg. So eastward, beyond the region of the bull, stands great Orion. It beholds the gleaming light, shall cast his eyes in vain to find a sign more glorious in all the heavens. There are 78 stars, 2 of the first magnitude, and then many others, of course. And in the sword is a remarkable nebulous star from this website. The most powerful telescope there actually resolves it into more than just a nebulous, but actually into separate stars there. The left foot is on the head of the enemy. The handle proves the mighty prince in coming forth in a new character, proven to be the lamb that was slain due to the hilt of the sword in the form of a lamb in a lamb's body. And then the right is his mighty club, and the left he holds the token of his victory, the head and skin of the roaring lion, which is the lioness. He conquers the feminine. And then the rigel is the left foot that crushes the enemy. And then the left side is, I can't read my writing. It's Stuides. I don't know. You can look up Orion. You can see the planet. I think it's S-H-E-I-D-E-S. But the left shield is Bellatrix or Bellatrix, and it means quickly coming or swiftly destroying, right? So, or doing the opposites at the same time, quickly coming or swiftly destroying, right? Coming and going, or doing it both at the same time. The fourth star, and one of 3 in the belt, he was once humbled, heel his heel was bruised. Its name is Al-Natak, the wounded one. Also star K in the right leg was safe, S-A-I-P-H, there we go, is bruised, and the word is used in Genesis. Actually, S-A-I-P-H is that fourth star, that fourth foot, that other foot, used in Genesis 3:15. And by the way, if you look at Orion, not only is it this energy of this hunter or the one who triumphs, and we were just talking about Capricorn triumphing, right, being the king of the hill, which is that same energy, but if you look at it, it's literally the letter K. Okay? So star Z came up as Mintakan, dividing as a sacrifice from Lev 8:2, and wounded for the sins of his redeemed, is about to rise up and shine forth for their deliverance. Isaiah 42:13 and 14, where it quoted, I have been still and refrained myself, and now will cry like a traversing woman. I will destroy and devour at once, or again simultaneously, the two-eyed needle, the twin flame quantum energy. And then a bird tapped on my front door very gently at 12:11. As I went into 12:12, the two hanged men, arise, shine, for the light has come, and glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon there. And it goes on. And then as soon as I was finishing reading this section regarding Orion, and not the hunter, but the great one, right, the king of the hill, that Capricornian type of energy, of the goat and the lamb, the 12 and 15 of the hanging man, and the 15 of the devil, or the shadow side, twinkle, twinkle, little star was coming up. How I wonder what you are. And then Rigel was coming up as well, the foot that stepped on the enemy. And then I remembered in my dream, because I told you my twin came into my dream, and I don't usually remember any of my dreams. All of my stuff is from meditation, right? And if I do remember my dreams, I mean, rarely has my twin, like, literally come into my dreams, but he was in my dream major yesterday morning, and he showed me himself and showed me that he was missing his left arm. And in this Orion energy, his left arm is Bella. It's Bellatrix. It's Beetle and Bella. So he was missing his left side. He was missing her. Were Beetle and Bella ever seen together? So I was trying to find some information on it, but it was very difficult to find anything. But also that Bella is the blue giant as opposed to the red giant of Beetle. The blue giant of Bellatrix is considered the female warrior and is the 25th brightest star, and is also variable. In South America, the Amazon tribes consider Bella, their story was that Bella was the young boy in a canoe, and that Betelgeuse was the old man that was chasing the pixie bois, I guess a pixie boy or pixie bois, a dark spot in the sky near Orion, or the fish mouth was also coming up there. And again, I was getting the 144 stars, so I don't know if it's referenced there. So Bella is not known to have a stellar companion, although it could be a spectroscopic binary, which means perhaps an unseen companion with Bella, not necessarily Betelgeuse. In the situation of a face-on orbit with a black hole companion orbiting about 102 AU from the star, with a period measured in Antares, measured in centuries, could act for the discrepancy. So anyway, they're talking about this, a black hole, which would be the exact reflection of Bella in another dimension. This is really interesting, all this stuff that was coming up around Betelgeuse. So beetle, B-E-T-L, means leaf. And then I have to show you this card, because this is exactly the energy that was coming up. And this was actually one of the cards that came up for the read from this deck. If I can get to that exact place. There it is. That's one of my favorite cards. It's so sweet. All right, so this is the card. Look at the beetle means leaf, and there's the leaf, and there's the little Bella floating in the leaf in that kind of aurora borealis river with the pink moon, and there's 9 candles in the background that they're leaving behind, which is the wounded warrior floating down that river. So at 12:32, which is the Hanging Man and the Journey, again back to the card with the 2 diamonds in the sky, which came up first for the Metatron deck, the 2 shoulders of Orion, the sun as 1 star, Bella with 2 stars, it's coming up as the energy of the 12 with the 1, the Orion sun as 1 star, the 2 shoulders with the Orion sun as 1 star and Bella with 2 stars. And I was just coming up as that energy of the reflecting stars within a black hole. And then the first card that came up from the Metatron deck was the number 12 of Akashic Records. And 12, of course, is wisdom and seeing new perspectives. And I was being called to open a page. So I looked around, and the first book I saw was my numerology book, which I'm going to open randomly again to see what comes up. But I opened to 22 on the Fool's page, the definition of the Fool. So 22, 3, it's like this is like, if you're playing the lottery, this does not happen. All 3 of my decks had the ending pile of 22 cards, and I opened up to the page 22, in 22 on the 17th. So let me see, and it's also the Fool and the Fool's Journey, right, with the open heart. So here's my numerology book, the Divine Triangle, and I'm just going to open it to a random page, see what comes up. So now we have the 12 again, which is the first thing I saw, and that's on page 118. And I'm going to read you that. And the section in the book is Bible symbology. 12. There were 12 tribes of Israel who were the sons of Jacob. When Jacob gave his blessing to his 12 sons, he was referring not only to 12 individuals, but to the development of 12 attributes to be awakened in the human soul. These paralleled the 12 characteristics of the 12 signs of the zodiac in Genesis 49, 1 through 28. The work of these 12 sons dominated most of the Old Testament. Each tribe expressed the qualities of one sign of the zodiac and responded to a certain number. No tribe was wholly good or bad. These 12 signs and their corresponding numbers are operative in the lives of every individual, for each person indeed is a miniature universe. Jesus chose to have 12 apostles. These also relate in character to the 12 signs of the zodiac to make a complete gathering of the types of people in the inner circle of followers of Jesus. Thus, the vibrational force under the number 12 belongs to the developed soul who has accumulated unusual inner strength through many and varied experiences. So, and then I'm going to show you the page. This was page 118. And that's a significant Jewish number, actually. I don't know if they still do it, but they used to give $118 as a gift because 18 is a very sacred number. And oh, by the way, I didn't even notice this. Look what's up above the 12, the 144,000. Okay. And remember that this is I'm blanking out on his name right now. Has a lot about. Let me just look at the contents real quick. Where are you? Oh yeah, Edgar Cayce. So Edgar Cayce's example is given in this book, as well as the Pythagoras. The theorem is from. That's what this book is based on, the Pythagorean theorem of the triangle, where the two sides, the squares of the two sides of the isosceles triangle equals the square of the hypotenuse. But all right, let me read you the 144 paragraph too, since I didn't even notice that when I opened the picture. And that's coming up from the number 9 before number 12. So the number 9 refers to completion, attainment, fulfillment, regeneration, and revelation. Many words in the Bible are used for their symbolic meanings and teaching, mystically concealed. Bread and wine are usually linked together. Bread is a 3-powered word, wine is a 6-powered word. Together they form a symbol of the 9 power of regeneration. Thus the serving of bread and wine means that one is to partake of a regenerative process when taking communion. In the book of Revelation there are 2 numbers whose meanings have caused much discussion. These 2 numbers, the 666 and the 144,000, both vibrate to the 9. The 144,000, who were sealed as members of the tribes of Israel, refers to developed or saved humanity. The seal refers to the protective sign in their foreheads, Revelations 9:4. The 666, described as the number of the beast in Revelations 13:18, refers to humanity functioning at the materialistic, ungenerated level. These 2 numbers mystically refer to the evolution of humanity, either as lost in the 666 or saved, which is the 144,000. And notice that 666 also adds up to 18, or the old way of being. The humanity, symbolically called the hand of God, demonstrates the same principle. And remember the hand of God too, because we were just talking about the branch with Betelgeuse, and that comes up in one of the cards in the read as well. Demonstrates the same principle. The hand is a 9-powered word and refers to humanity as one of God's helpers in bringing forth his kingdom. The 9 statements of blessing in the Sermon on the Mount, which showed a completed cycle, represent the essence of the New Testament teaching that the greatest of all power is love. Love is a 9-powered word. He that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. And that's John 4:8. God is love, and he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in God, and God in him. John 4:16. And in the 9th hour, the hour of prayer, Christ on the cross said, "It is finished." John 19:30, which is the Son and the union. The numbers 12 and 13 hold a special place in both the Old and New Testaments, and then I already read you the 12. So I just want to show you the page of 22 too that I opened. This is what I opened to earlier, which brings up the description of the Fool, and so you get an idea of what this book is like. It's a great book. It gives you the main permanent energy, if that's your permanent number, 22, and also if the 22 is a temporary vibration, and its tarot symbolism here, as well as the astrological correspondence here. Okay, so I'm going to read you the temporary part to tell you what energies were coming up for you for the 22. It's travel, plans, advancements, and your dreams coming true. The 22 is a master number and the ancient numerical value for a circle. It's the human embodiment of source. So it's again becoming source again, or rebirthing, right? Because you're not the baby anymore. Now you're like the teenager going forth in the world. But it's the rebirthing of the baby, of being source again. As such, it implies completion, fulfillment, and cyclicity. Under a 22, you're reaching your goal. The fulfillment of your secret desires can become a reality. Success on a huge scale and attainment of those impossible dreams are very possible. You should make those big plans, dare the mighty deeds you have only contemplated up till now, and traveling toward a goal can also suggest physical travel, which is a distinct possibility here. Make sure your concepts are well organized and practical. Think in large sweeping terms and go to the head person with your creative ideas. Someone's not speaking because my voice is starting to close down. Your ideas have a good chance of being accepted now. So if you've been afraid up till now to tell someone your ideas or present them to someone, you have a very good chance of them being accepted now. Many people can benefit from the ideas you present under a 22, and as a result, you may be given a top position. You're now the known expert in your field, and others come to you for opinions and advice. This is a very tense period when you'll be dealing with groups of people. Guard against extremes, do not be too extravagant with money, and do not speculate in uncertain enterprises. Stay away from gambling. Deal only with practical matters during this period. Overindulgence may cause the dissolution of affairs which otherwise have good potential. If in doubt about any matter, consult a professional. Do not trust your own judgment. Once all the facts are collected, rely on your own intuition, which is based on reason, to supply you with proper decisions. It can all be yours during this powerful material period. So I thought you'd like that. So really good information came through there. Okay, So it gave you an explanation, you know, one version of the 60, what's the 666 to the 144,000, right? The old and the new. So, and again, the pages that was on was 176 to 177. And remember, the temporary vibration explained that the 22 also is the circle, which is the source embodiment of human in my symbology, reaching the goal and fulfillment, which I read to you already. But also, when I looked at the card here, one of the things they described in the tarot there of the Fool, there's an eagle on his wallet, awakening to higher vision and enabling him the world of manifestation. So it's like opening up the world to them. So at 12:45, which is the 12 again of the tribes and the 12 of the wisdom, and seeing new perspectives of the hangman, the 45 of the purging cycle, to see new perspectives of the two diamonds, the double diamond in the sky, the twins overlapping. Excuse me. And 12:45, which reminds me, I was born in Memphis, not in the Philadelphia area. So even though I was born at 11:45, on the East Coast, that's actually 12:45. So 12:45 is my time of birth. At 25 is the Knight of Wands, with a passion and love for life, lighting the fire beneath the Blue Mother. So here's the red passion of the Knight, or Betelgeuse, and the Blue Mother of Bellatrix. The 29 of the Three of Wands being present in their moment and their gifts. Beetle and Bella. Sound familiar? And then the numbers, the twin flames being wise and motivated to be present. The 51 of the the King of Swords, and his white diamond wings of purity and innocence. The 4 of the Emperor letting go. Time for release of their feathers and leaves down that river to be the leaf for his beauty, which is literally Bellatrix. And then Archangel Sandalphon came up, which I always refer to as Saint Dolphin, which is number 22. With Lyran, they had the lyra, their instrument, and the card as well, and saying that Saint Dolphin, or Saint Dolphin, is with you now. And then I counted 22 cards. At the bottom of the 22 cards was the 40 of Evolution, the new heart, and Eva was coming up as well. And at the top of that is the 52 of the Queen of Swords, with priorities of the Big Bird, the Rainbow Bridge, the Knight of Cups, Green Emerald Order, Healing Heart, and the authentic self of the loving children, the soulmates, the soul ties, and who are you, inner child, the 3 of the Mother and creation, the collective awakening to the mother and child, the 9 of the Hermit, taking action in the chariots of fire, running with the Big Bird, the 31 of transformation, of chaos and control, of the sun and the earth, of Terra and Gaia, the 5 of communicating freely as that message in the bottle that you are, and the shell of Magdalena. And it was weird too, I saw a symbol again. Remember in my shadows that I saw on the full moon in the tree, on top of the Misfit Toys totem was a letter F or E, I said backwards. It could have been either. And I saw that energy again of a backwards F, that the E part broke off. So there's something about the E and the F coming up together. So the 2 cups of 1 to 1, going with the flow on that whispering bench, the canoe, with the yellow card of 1 of the Magician and Joy of the Carpenter Bee, and Buttercup Magic, which is the Mary Magdalene color. The 15 of the shadow and clarity of that shadow to go within, showering in diamond light, which is coming up as the masculine. And then the dragon fire, strong sun, whether the sun in the sky or the sun, observing their shadow and transmuting the chaos with the energetic exchange of the ancestors showing their appreciation and healing on the bridge of compassion, which is that 40 bridge. The Om of the 30 in the union, and the 0 point void, walking away and within to rest and pause and retreat. The 43 of the coming together and healing, to pause and receive from Saint Dolphin. The 27 of the Metatron and that Ace of Wands, that 3rd flame. The Metatron Rainbow Bridge, that 3rd flame of inspiration that's always open, arcing the wind beneath his wings. So it's coming up as the feminine is the rainbow bridge, as he is the wing over the bridge. So you are the wind beneath his wings. You are in ethers, that's compared to gravity, the movement of air versus the movement of ether. So the 37 is the King of Cups, to look up and detach from all that drama. The 35 of the wounded warrior, that he's in his kundalini releasing that untapped energy. The 18 of the Mother Earth and the purple moon 0-point field, and the ice cube coming up, but 3 of them, the hexahedron times 3 and the 18. So it's a 6-sided thing 3 times, which we just brought up the 666 in a separate way, which was totally separate than my message here. The 20 of the cosmos, which is the wake-up call, and the judgment mirrors you with the dodecahedron. The 12 faces with 20 points and 30 sides that are all divisible by only 1 and 2, the masculine and the feminine. The 16 of sudden gold, the Holy Grail, the cup, that spirals that support infinitely light up, the heart connection to the infinite sun and light. Your signal is now connected and grounded, and I was getting like you are now grounded in. It's like that 6 degrees of separation, like there's no going back, you're in. They are catching our phased arrays that we've been sending. That high vibe new dawn of the phased arrays were coming up as the Mary Magdalene shell within has been pumping out this energy of phased arrays, right, like the sun's natural phased arrays, and they have received our message, and they are now linked in. They are catching our phased arrays in the high vibe new dawn. Welcome back Cotter came up again, and traverse, because that was the word I couldn't remember the other day when Cotter came up, but today it was coming up as K and Otter, and I wrote K here before I even had gone into Orion and the fact that it's shaped like a K. So Cotter's coming up as the otter, who in the animal deck is really curious and young, and the K about Orion and the constellation of Betelgeuse and Betelgeuse's beauty. And traverse, the tra, that's what I meant to look up, because verse is obvious, but what is tre? I mean, that could be 3. But let's see what else came up for tra. T-R-A. Oh, nope, came up T-A-R instead. Hold on. It always does that autocorrect. Okay. So, it comes up as a catfish and a beam, a thing. And the number 3, like I said, it comes up as the earth and soil as well, but it can reference the 3D earth, the path in the forest, the trail, the fire break. And the path in the forest is like the wounded warrior's path, as opposed to the fool's journey, going through it, between and among it, right? Going through the dark to get to the light, between and among and in. The 3, between and among, to investigate, to examine and inspect. It's also poetic and being quite entirely very and while, and that's what came up for TRA. So that's the verse. It's coming up as the K of energy from Orion, because there's that central, that big portal at Orion that the dark energies like to use. They want to dominate that portal. And the otter, who's young and curious, and then the traversing of that, the verse of getting through the 3D, right? Instead of the universe, the 3 verse. And then the 40 of the evolution of the Page of Cups and the birthing the new heart, between Big Bird and Saint Dolphin, the eagle or E-gull, and the fish, which is F and Ish. So F for me is expanding, contracting of the Phi energy, or reflecting in the middle, and the masculine's coming up as F-ish, and the feminine's coming up as E-gull, you know, like the gull at the beach, but the eagle. And here's the E and F that I was just talking about again. So Big Bird and Saint Dolphin are the chariots of fire at 111, which is the magician and the alignment of justice, and the 114 of the 14 of that higher love of the temperance card. So when we went to the Nature Whispers deck with the lover's big picture, number 6, and the 50 of complete emotional fulfillment, and the potential gateway, as we're talking about Orion, and the 46 of the soulmates, your best friend in the whole universe or galaxy, and gratitude of the 31, and spontaneity, and the flower in the round was coming up as the feminine being added to the round table. Bella added to the round table. The sagging rainbow was coming into the South Pole with the healing left hand, not putting that energy into the South Pole, but taking it out of the South Pole, and eyes to grow, the North Pole flowering. And there's the tree was coming up, reflecting the borealis lights in a mirage, the reflection in the watering of the heart of the tree. And there's unicorns there and fairy girls as well, as a throughway for the little girl and her unicorn, seeing the moon with the rainbow fully around the sphere. What did I write there? Entered. But anyway, that energy of the feminine warrior, right? Because Bellatrix is a warrior female, and now she's being allowed to sit at the round table with the knights, like the Last Supper, how Mary Magdalene's actually in the picture. If you bring her to the other side of Jesus, she fits perfectly into the nook of his neck. And they're showing like this reflection of what lies beneath the tree, right? Between the tree and the other worlds, between the tree and the waters beneath the earth. There's this whole life of unicorns and fairies and pixies and that energy of the elementals. And the one at 119 is the magician and the sun of gratitude and appreciation here, where the tree was actually also thanking me for watering them this morning, because although you don't usually think of watering the tree because it's a fully grown tree, I felt bad for the tree because it's been very dry out. So I'd been throwing buckets of water out there in the morning, and I was getting a little thank you, and that was always nice. So showing gratitude and appreciation to you, and like I keep seeing the little bugs in my roses as I say hello to them in the morning when I'm watering them, and thanking me for the water there too. To be spontaneous with the chaos of the light coming in, to reach out across the orange sphere, the pixies and fairies making connection with you within the flowers and the trees. At 121, which is the magician in the world, was the 10 card of opening your heart to your destiny. Watch for the meteor showers in the Delta Aquarid, late July into August, especially around the new moon when it's very dark, at 17:55 UTC, which is July 28th, 2022, which happens to be my oldest brother's birthday. So the great square of Pegasus then came up as the cube on the field. So I guess for the shower, the meteor shower, you're supposed to look towards the south before dawn, because they kind of disappear after dawn. I guess depends on where you are in the world, but you can certainly check that out. Destined to open heart at the new moon. The 34 of energetic exchange and vulnerability of that energetic exchange as the little girl in the leaf that I showed you flows with the Borealis River, leaving 9 candles behind, which is the wounded warrior, in the pink moon. Orion's belt seen in the distant sky as Rigel is accentuated below with Bella, or Rigel, the energy of Rigel to Aldebaran was coming up as well. The left arm, which looks like a bow in Betelgeuse's left arm, the stars that make up that bow, or whatever it's supposed to be, right, having conquered their beloved, is all pi names. So it's pi 1 through 6 there. So there's something about the connection between those planets there. But the 23 of the King of Wands was coming up, that you are worth it for the masculine. The 7 candles leaving the 9 candles of the wounded warrior behind, and the 7 of Wands, which is standing up for Bella and your nook, or their place in the world, overlooking the sea. And again, 22 cards came up at the end of this read. At the bottom of it all was the 18 again, and new experiences. And at the top of it is the 44 of grounding, integrating, and mastering how to receive love. And by the way, the 44 comes up as Edgar Casey's destiny number as well. To see, and then the card was literally, after I had written about beauty and Bella, was to see beauty, for him to see Bella. The chaos of destiny and energetic exchange of the King of Wands. The 44 of seeking beauty by the yellow star, which was Betelgeuse way back when Jesus was born. And beetle means leaf. With the 10 to 11 candles and the Vega show, Venus, Venetian, and Esther Williams synchronized swimming in the Borealis, or oil-soaked river, or Venice, as the buck seeks her attention face to face, grounding, integrating, and mastering how to receive love in a bountiful harvest of the twin flames. And it's like she's readying the atmosphere all around the earth for everything to be ready. The 21 of completion and coming full circle with a fresh approach at 149 of magic and having your dreams come true, where the land meets the sea and the double rainbow bridges are crossed, mountain to mountain, 4 and 4 balloons, and a package deal as he grounds her into his reality. The tree to the flower. Remember we talked about the tree has to bend a little for the flower to come toward it. The tree bends to make an effort, so the flower will come closer. The 29 of the present moment in contemplation of her masculine side, her inner lioness, but not the feminine type of lion, the masculine type of lion. And her butterfly side, which is very sweet, but also transformational. And wondering if she can actually tame her inner beast of her masculine side. And the 45 of, I was just getting, where are you going, Billy? I need to know. There was when I was in junior high school, it was I was in love with that song. But that 45 is coming up as the purging energy and the empowerment, because the feminine now has a lay of the land and its rough connections and its rough seas, but leaving the rough seas behind. The 16 of the sudden events and inner truths of what lives in the tree trunk and the sea connections beneath it. The 24 of the Queen of Wands, be your best self always, as the mermaid or otherwise sea maid riding the seahorse with crazy rainbow hair, referring to Aquarius, and gentle piggyback. The 33 of the Christ vibration and standing up for oneself, Christ, be gentle with yourself, lioness. The 27 of inspiration and the Ace of Wands, maintain your childlike spirit and swing even in the winter. And then the number 17, which is the day's date today, of infinite blessings and fairy dust upon the land and the village. Of the 35 of the wounded warrior's culmination of a vision of the wounded warrior and the dry earth, and now refreshed with just a wish. The 1 of the magician and your magic, the magnitude of the inner child and laughter, which is funny because I was watching a comedian last night. The 47 of the synchronicities and the things that you love to do. Play with your best friend on your Pegasus. The chariots of fire. The 40 of the Page of Cups and showing your support to the flowers, the birds, and the man in the canoe. The 15 of the shadow. Then catch your breath by hugging the tree to ground yourself way into the earth. At 201, grounding yourself to the shadow aspects, and then the 37 of the King of Cups, who needs to look up. But the ideal course of action here is always unconditional love. First yourself as they long for your attention. Build it and they will come. The 30 of union and home, and the adventure of bowing over 2 mountains in the conch shell under the new moon. The waterway between these mountains looks like Orion reflected in the shape of it. The Gibraltar Strait, straight to Magellan. And then again I saw that same reference to the planets in the sky, where there's one planet that's bigger, kind of shooting off to the right, a smaller planet in the sky on the dark side of the moon. The 2 of illumination with the butterfly and the indigo helping along. The 14 of that higher love and the assurance that that higher love will last through all the seasons and all sides of herself. The 36 of Atlas and the intuition or intuit connection, the twin tower of you and I connection, the brain on fire, the bathing cap, protect your crown like Esther Williams with nature's whispers, Atlas leaving the wounded warrior behind, the 18 of new experiences and possibilities of that 0 point field, with the horse and the butterfly, the flowers and the trees in the round table, the purple moon 0 point field. And then from the shaman deck at 221 of the 2 of the high priestess and the 21 of the world again, is the 42 of the netcaster, where their preparations now come to fruition in the 2 of cups, the 51 of the king of swords, of stars in the sky that are limitless with possibilities, and the 12 of the wisdom and the dragon's horde protecting their future, the 30 of the home and union of the horseman heralding in the changes as he giddy-ups, the 2 of cups of the king of swords hanging out in union or bridge in cave. It's like we're hanging out in union on the bridge in the cave and ready to come home. The 55 of the farther gate, the truth, the 2 gates and the 2 suns, the cave now blasted open, the entrance, and the horseman to the rescue with truth and a bold step forward, the sky bridge, the 47 of synchronicities and dreams come true, and the possibility for union opening up the cave and building a bridge, synchronicities and options with heaven in your eyes, the 29 of being present in the moment to your gifts, and the horned cactus, the resourcefulness of that stationary one, present with gifts, and the hermit dancing on 1 foot, who's very good at the balancing act. The horned cactus and the tiny dancer, moth, are both green. She the moth to the flame, as the whale's song and watergate, the 61 of the risk to resonate, from cave to the bottom of the sea, the sacred covenant of the 7 trumpets breaking of the seal, the whale taking the risk to come out of the bubble and ascend, as the 61/7 is a risky proposition and unwritten, or never before done. The eyes of the eagle, the 18, a gift for the hermit to see them, truly see them inside, the 59 of the 5 of swords in the war within, the wailing tree and the reconciliations with the root girl of the disowned self, and the 46 of the soul children coming together to really see, with wide open lens, the suffering within and the burning without, all shriveled up little girl, the perfect storm of the 44 of the raven peacock with the courage to live on the eagle's perch, the will of the wisp and the 62 of the prison or the release, the awareness of the treasures hidden in the shadows and the release from prison and anxieties. At 2:34, shut the door. So again, there were 22 cards in this pile. At 234, shut the door, which is a 4 as well, 22. At the bottom of it all was the 41 of the Moon Maiden, and at the top of it all is the Galactic Mushroom, with the 24 of the Queen of Wands, the Divine Matrix, with the coconut there, G-A-L-A-C-T, and the inner child of the Galactic Matrix. In the mushroom, or the divine, or divine, the 2 vine of the matrix, the mother's tricks, the double vine, and the mother with tricks. So we're talking about the Kundalini rising, right? The 2 vines growing, and the mother with her tricks, and the 20 of the wake-up call to the feast of plenty. You are what you consume, and you, twin flames, are twin swords in a stone, affecting the other. This is a wake-up call of the Page of Swords, 54, initiating the bridge and crossing with half the tree trunk, right? Cutting half of themselves off to him laying his coat down on the ground for you to walk across. The falling angel of the 19 and the cannonball run. Too much sun could make you sleepy, and the 4 of the Emperor and the INE of the cat and the ER pillar, opportunity to unwind and twist the other way. The 45 of the Purge to repair the veil and forgive and tie the pages back together again with a double-eyed needle. The 39 of the Knight of Cups and that detox repair of the body, mind, and spirit with the misfit toys and just being love. right? Feeling like on an island with people just like you, the misfit toys. And the 2 of the High Priestess, beloved, heart on fire with radical acceptance. And the 31 of the chaos of the light that's in your hand in the heart of a shape, that the universe is your partner, holding heart in your hand. And the crown games of the 8 and the right use of power. Off with their heads. Remember, hats off when you come home. The 27 of the Ace of Wands, that compassion is inspiring, and the 15 of the Dust Devil, moving out of stagnation. Kicking up the dust with the 33 and the Christ vibration of unity consciousness and standing up for oneself, of the joyful muse, the inspiration, the music, the art, and what's your pleasure? Cello, brush, butterfly glasses, and the 23 of the King of Wands and Fortune's wheel, luck and right timing on your side, the oracle of the military eagle, and the 5 of closing the door of completion and freedom, the 11 of alignment in the deep quiet and stillness, and the cupped hand, the truth and balance aligned with the twin flame, hollow and humble, the student of life, in the deep diver of the 10, destined to be unafraid of deep emotion, the 60 of peace and the watchers, transpersonal, peaceful and goofy, and the 16 of the sudden empty well that needs replenishment, the 36 of the Atlas lost in space and needing directions. Watch out for Puff the Magic Dragon at the South Pole. They're puffing out a second sun. And the 41 of the love and the moon maiden with self-love and new beginnings, floating along with the world or keeping the moon afloat above her, with algae, mossy, and plankton coming up, but there's something new in the water at 251, which is the High Priestess and the King of Swords. And the shape of the lyra musical instrument kind of looks like this. It's coming up instead of the triangle, it's coming up as this triangle. And remember that the heart is the number 2 reflecting each other, the 22. So all of those energies were coming up. And now we're going to go back to the twin flame read. That's on the table. And that, we had both, look at that, the 2 of Cups and the Lovers. The Lovers right there and the 2 of Cups here. And it doesn't matter in what form they come in because they're here and together. That's definitely a twin flame energy. And then we have the full 7-deck read for you right here. Okay. All right, so for this read here, what else did I see? The crows are still around. I keep seeing crows in sets of 3s. I cut the SIRIAN Starseed deck at 155 to 56, which is the Ace of Swords to the 2 of Swords, which is being in your knowing, that 56. And the SIRIAN cut, and I was just getting our connection with Sirius now, right? The Sirius portal and then Lionsgate. And today being the 17th of the Star and the 7 of the Chariot and the 2022, the Twin Flame Romance. At 2:30 was the High Priestess and the Union, or the Home. RBS came up again, the run, base, slams. And then the energy of physical activity and adventure was coming up on the code line here. And the way it was coming up was kind of weird words, but venture was just definitely coming up here. And seativity. And that seativity comes up as IVI in the middle, which is co-creation. IVI, V is creation, and the 2 I's of the twin flames. The co-creation, and the CT is coming up on one side, and the TY, which is thank you. And the CT can be the whispering bench, time out, actually. And then a thank you at the end, after co-creating. So I finished clarifying at 246, which is the High Priestess and the inner outer children loving each other, the soulmates, the twin flames, the inner children though. The major arcana were Lovers, Starseed, Reason, which is the Emperor, Starseed is the Fool, and Ascension, which is the World. And after the read, the Chariot and the Shadow came up. The Shadow is the Devil. There were 3 wands, 1 cup, 2 swords, and 1 pentacle. So we had 31 and 21 coming up there. 31 is the chaos of the group and the sun, the energy, the pursuit of happiness, the games, the acting, the sports, all that kind of energy. And then the 21 of completion, coming full circle. And we had double 1s, 2s, 5s, 7s, and 10s. So 11 of justice, 22 of the fool's journey, 55. And by the way, the 22 was the only one where it was the most significant double number, 22. And of course, it's come up like crazy today. The 22 of the fool's journey, 11 of justice, the 55 of the ace of swords, the 77 of the sovereign, and the 1010 of that high vibration to make sure to keep it high, and the double destiny there. And we also had the 12 of the hanging man, the 25 of the knight of wands, 57 of the 3 of swords, 89 of the phi energy, and 910 begin again, always come back to center again in the present moment. So the code line was all about the number 60 coming from 59 and 1, and 60 is all about peace and moving to peace. And the code line was all about physical activity and adventure, but it was broken out into PH and Icicle and AC, Tivity, and then ADV and Enter. So somebody might be going to an ENT as well. And pH, there's a lot about hospitals coming up because pH came up and chemistry and labs, all that kind of stuff. So somebody might be having a workup of some kind. AFS also came up, the American Field Service, in the code line first thing, which is a great thing. My mother was an AFS student, and we had AFS students stay at our house growing up. So it's an exchange student program, for those of you not familiar. And it's weird, the code line began in AFS and ended in SAG, which is the Screen Actors Guild, or the union. Oh, and look at that, AFS is the exchange, and then the unit at the end. The union at the end, very interesting the way they were bringing that up. So AFS 5 to 9, there's that 9 to 5 type of energy of the job, and taking a time out left to become inspired to union. The pH also, remember about pH when you're eating. So all the stuff we love to eat is acidic, which is bad for your body, and all the stuff that you don't want to eat is usually alkaline, like baking powder is something that's very alkaline, but of course you don't want to eat it because it doesn't taste good. So remember your pH of eating and calories, but it's not about obsessing with it, it's just being knowledgeable about how it works. And then the alternating currents or air conditioning that may be needed to condition an air sign type of energy or with knowledge. And the energy of being close in intimacy, but then no thank you, right? That alternating currents of 1 minute being hot and 1 minute being cold. And also the ENT and advertising coming up, as well as advice, getting a referral, perhaps for the eyes or face. So what was also coming up is to be, so the song 1,000 Years came up, because the first thing that was coming up, the definition was to be 1,000 years. I could die, wait. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid, I have loved you for 1,000 years. So it's coming up 9 to 5 and bordered. So it's about putting up your natural borders. Tucked in or hemmed in was coming up. Again, your face front, eye to eye. I'm getting like, a hem, like folding it over. It's natural, a natural border, not thinking of it as protection, but just using nature and love as your guide and your protection. Like, darling, don't be afraid, because I've loved you for 1,000 years. Bordered, tucked in, or hemmed in, face front, eye to eye, toggling up to the left with new passion and inspiration of the union, with physical activity and adventure. It was coming up as pH and alternating currents with physical activity, but also advise and advertising was coming up with adventure. the avenue, the path, the journey of the Five of Swords, inner war, and the timeout toggling left to become inspired, and the energy of the suspension bridge was coming up there, to give way, to lean, again that tree leaning out to the flower so the flower can come towards them. Connect despite their differing positions, and scary suspension bridge between. To yearn as the hermit regarding this, to reach the impossible dream, and be met with alternating currents of air conditioning, of being close and then lukewarm, with advice to endure. At 321, 321 jump, we start the read with the Ten of Wands upright at the bottom of the deck. So the bottom card here, over here, with the little cards on top, the bottom card on the deck is Ten of Wands upright, and below that card was the Knight of Wands, Five of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, Seven of Wands, all upright, and then the Eight of Swords reversed. The Knight of Wands out in the cold, in exile, perhaps sick or injured, but is refusing to show it, right, because they're upright. They're running back, perhaps lying, cheating, or stealing, or running back to catch a thief, standing up for themselves to release anxieties, working out a lot or perhaps too much, as Atlas is leaving the wounded warrior behind, the Knight of Wands with a slow burn, and the Hermit in the Mary Magdalene cave, taking a risk to run back, or passing messages in the 5D, and standing up for themselves, to rise above drama and tango, being quote-unquote full in, and release negative thoughts at 328, which is of abundance and the twin flames. Releasing negative thoughts and imprisonment, anxieties, coming out of the dark, leaving the wounded warrior or the victimhood behind. At night, the full moon, which was the 13th, the romance plan implemented by extending an invite to soulmate, friend, child, or sibling, to true love, or to playing in the sunshine, vacation, or having fun, or exposing all of their alternative beliefs, and or a divorce or break from societal norms in religion and or establishment or societal norms. The Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands both upright here, but may have broken down or feeling insecure. It's like, just think of, two kids broke down in their car because they're new drivers, they don't know what to do. So it's that energy of being really insecure, unable to call because maybe their phone died, or on the warpath with manipulation or without tools to deal with the situation, and unwilling to heed the call to action or wake up and let go of their pride, perhaps. Maybe they're not talking to somebody. The Queen of Wands upright is looking back at them, depressed, or the bird not prepared, ready to fly on their own. And again, this is the energy of one child who's not ready to go out on their own. They have too much anxiety issues. They haven't grown their wings yet. And the other, it's like the other child, the Knight is staying back with them, but the Queen of Wands, or mother energy, is not willing to stay back with them anymore. So the Knight of Wands is staying back with them, as the Queen of Wands may be depressed, and the King of Cups is upright, or there's no dreams between the two of them. And healing, there's no dreams or healing between the Queen of Wands and the King of Cups. The Ten of Pentacles upright old man may be welcoming the dark night or death or end with injustice of the King of Pentacles, patient but weak, or is an impatient and weak, but not showing it, like they're pretending like everything's okay. Like a parent or grandparent might not want to tell anyone that they're sick. A blanket of leaves, or orange and green, seeing angels and weak, or needing strength and courage for self, or to put a pet down. The King of Pentacles may be going off the beaten path, or Sagittarius upright and Leo reversed is one stone at a time, even if seen as weak. And they may not be weak, but maybe if someone who's showing their emotions is seen as weak in the family, then that might be the situation as well. And also with putting the pet down, I was getting a child like who's throwing temper tantrums. You're not allowed to take the dog out of the house, because they won't detach from the pet. And it came up in here that the parent had to sneak the dog out or the pet out to put them down because they were suffering too much. But I'm sorry if you lost a pet. I know that's difficult. So Cancer upright and reversed, Gemini and Aquarius both reversed, as well as Libra, Leo, and Taurus. Scorpio and Sagittarius are upright. Work issues, or just off work, or standing up to offer love and take off, or third party through work, or fending off love offers, seeing them as wanting to steal something from you, right? Because maybe you've been hurt before. Or feeling you have to defend your position of being the Knight of Cups, offering love to one who lies or cheats or steals from you. Or offer love to one who got caught stealing at work. And this could be their boss, giving them another chance even though they don't deserve it. Or giving them a second chance to steal, and that might be another person's perspective. Codependency comes up, as well as beneath it, it is safe to love. Perhaps a man with two lovers, with a dark one for show and hiding the shy one or quiet one behind the scenes. Or in all business relationship where star is depressed or arrogant, or grieving loss and regret of the Page of Cups reversed or rejection. And the man with two lovers, they can be two children as well, and they come up as women, so they could be daughters. One who's shy and anxious and the other one who's kind of, you have to worry about them because they're getting around. Or one grieving and one spoiled brat. Or one rejected flame and one being a crybaby or being seen that way, or the fallen angel. And it could be someone who's throwing a temper tantrum if they don't get their way. And again, like if there's a pet that needs to be put down, it's like the child who's throwing a temper tantrum because they don't want to, which is understood, but there comes a point where you have to stop. So after waxing their chest and delivering flowers, the Page of Cups reversed is at their wits' end on how to express their feelings because they're not being accepted. Or Gemini upright and Aquarius reversed in an all-business relationship at 352 of the Empress and the Queen of Swords. One regrets and one is fed up with the other. A timeout, and beneath that parenting and the suffering and silence of parenting, and the King of Swords, unconditional love, as the timeout. As the King of Cups is done suffering in silence with the kids, or perhaps done with his sister with kids, always fighting with the Queen of Swords reversed post-war with PTSD or stealing issues. The Page of Pentacles upright, hiding their face, defenseless to the energies or crowds, or feeling ganged up on or pressured to choose a path of justice, or with Libra, after a sudden event or avoiding a disaster. The King of Swords is splitting up or divided, and perhaps the kids are students with an invitation that he can't refuse to a path or to the twin flame, and the King of Swords and or Libra upright or Scorpio reversed, or perhaps after sex, epiphany or sudden exchange or event, the King of Swords needs clarity, and they need the whole truth to get to the middle without resisting change or sudden change. With the Sovereign upright and the Seven of Swords thief, out the back Jack or ghosted, lied, cheated, or stole ideas, and the Queen of Wands upright with the Queen of Pentacles upright may be moving to peace, or while they were blissfully traveling, or this was going on while they were out away blissfully traveling and spending money, or getting away now that the worst is over with of whatever just happened. So someone could be freaking out because they're late, or stressed out in a downturn, and the Ten of Cups family who's happy with the King of Wands in disconnect or at a distance. The truth being told to the Six of Cups soulmate and our kids, now the worst is over, or bliss is now setting in, uncomfortable expressing emotions and getting their ducks in a row, or going back to work, perhaps to get their ducks in a row. As the Ace of Swords is reversed in a split, a divide, or the need for the truth, Atlas leaves the wounded warrior behind, weak from stealing, cheating, lying, or running, perhaps from themselves, or from the Page of Cups reversed, rejection or vulnerability, or on time out, or took the pet to put them down, and not telling the child who wouldn't let go. Or a burden of lies and the weight of the world, the illness, the weakness, and the running away from the Page of Cups reversed, being called a crybaby, rejection, and it's like, or someone saying it's like taking from a baby, it's so easy to take from them, or the lying, cheating, and stealing was so easy, there was no resistance at all. Time out, post-war, viruses, and inner turmoil, and recently with the lovers, with the weight of the world in a split, or Atlas and the wounded warrior divided. Lovers out in the cold together, working too hard, in separation or in heartbreak, disappointment, or perhaps bad weather, or minor surgery or repair. As the Page of Swords reversed and the Empress reversed, could be a miscarriage or a mother and child who are both lying, seeing synchronicities or shopping online like a candy store, so they may be spending a lot of money and they shouldn't be. Or seeing all the options of the Sovereign that they have, but connects with the Knight of Wands who's not sharing with the wounded warrior, leaving their imbalances behind, with the wounded warrior never satisfied, perhaps being weak and clingy, or floating a gold coin, robbing Peter to pay Paul, or hoarding and hanging out with the Ten of Pentacles family, business, or community, right? They always have a family to run back to kind of energy. Feeling sad about tripping up, and the Knight of Swords rushing back to implement a plan to hang out and see new perspectives, perhaps with their lover, or perhaps with a Gemini or twin. At 417, the Emperor and the Star, the foundation is the Five of Wands, of the pursuit of the Queen of Cups to focus on their heart for epiphanies, with the Emperor reversed and Justice reversed, unhappy having to rise above, or not sleeping due to sudden events, epiphanies, or sexual exchange, or conflicts at work, or regarding burdens of the Emperor reversed, and the injustice of no sleep, and always something popping up, or having to take call. The central energy of the Two of Cups reversed, and the Queen of Wands seeking peace, breaking up the act, juggling or breaking patterns, perhaps sad at home, working patiently, or patient angel lovers with twin flame with the divine feminine 5D, or patient with neighborhood or just the world, or loving patience in need of love and closure, or whose world is upside down. Or the Queen of Wands hanging up the boat, since the Knight of Wands is going to be with the sovereign, and not sharing that they were breaking up the act, with the wounded warrior grieving and not satisfied alone at home, sick of work, and patient, not willing to pay, and love on the other side of the world, hanging out with their Ten of Pentacles family, business, or community. The challenge being the Ace of Wands reversed, the frustration or lack of sex, or no inspiration and bored, with the Page of Cups reversed, rejection, or child who won't leave the house, or spoiled and entitled, and misbehaving. The detoxing of insecurities, the lack of tools and manipulations, and the Queen of Pentacles reversed and disconnect or at a distance, not seeing eye to eye with the Hermit reversed, or the King of Wands upright, or coming out to the King of Wands, or the dynamic duo who's been stealing from him. Broken down, not talking, living together but distant, or at a distance but close, knowing but keeping to self, standing up fending off unwanted advances, and the injustice of the downturn and a twist of fate, and the need to swallow your pride in a sudden jealous rage, no surprise, or freaking out every time that dinner's not ready, fighting with ex, or not getting along with a group of their friends, detoxing too many people in the house every day, and the Knight of Pentacles reversed refusing to help or go to work. And now, at 434, which is the Emperor and the energetic exchange, the Queen of Swords reversed presents the truth to the Knight of Swords, coming in to see them. Where the lovers are reversed, which can be a Gemini reversed, or someone who's Gemini in their chart, in a break with the Hermit, advising or shedding light on death, endings, dark night, and transitions, suffering and silence in the never-ending story, for the Queen of Swords reversed, perhaps with Gemini in their chart, or the Queen of Swords reversed, blocking the Knight of Swords' messages, who could have Gemini in their chart. Or Gemini reversed, or Hermit missing their flame, in a passionate exchange, withholding under the radar, multiple offers, an ending or a nightmare, and no love at work, with the Queen of Wands undressing in front of him, with flame present, and no peace, and the Ten of Cups happy family to send out the errand boy to get more alcohol for their drunk kids, or Page of Pentacles, who's specifically trying to be perfect all the time. Or encouraged to let loose and drop the act, at cross purposes with detoxing the Knight of Pentacles reversed, who's resisting this. So it's like purposely telling your child to get drunk to lighten up and let loose, right? Because they're really uptight and they're a really good student and expecting themselves to be perfect. But again, it's someone encouraging a bad habit. Where the other one, the Knight of Pentacles, is actually trying not to do this, and they can't be around this at 444, which is the angelic realms. At 445, then the purging comes up. Soon is the Starseed, the Fool, with a big download to the crown. The Fool free to leap, and the Ten of Pentacles family, business, or community may be depressed without healing and frustrated with the King of Swords reversed, or the King of Swords reversed could be an Aquarius, or the fallen star of the Ten of Pentacles family, business, or community, and blocked the King of Swords reversed. The Knight of Pentacles reversed, refusing to move or work, uncomfortable with their emotions of the Three of Cups coming together with a secret passion, or parties in the house all the time with no use of their integrity or intuition. The World upside down, Pisces reversed, the Divine Feminine 5D with the energetic exchange and standing up to the stubborn one. With Aries upright, Aquarius and Pisces, perhaps two Pisces, both reversed along with Libra here, perhaps releasing themselves. The twin flames are seeing themselves as the Emperor reversed without reason, or someone in their space like that, that's like really in their space, and the energetic exchange or the arrows of love between themselves and keeping quiet about an offer of big love from blissful King of Pentacles and the Page of Cups reversed or rejection. The Fool freeing themselves from the Emperor reversed, or anyone being unreasonable at this point and out of control, or the Emperor reversed and the Page of Cups reversed may be fighting his own inner war. And that could be a grandparent with a grandchild too, that were put together to help each other and they end up like not wanting to be with each other at all. Maybe they're not talking right now. And around the twins, or how they're seen, is the Sovereign, upright, with a suitor perhaps who's excited but blocked, or needing to drive. Perhaps it rained and you can't walk now. Or the dark night is approaching the King of Cups, or Scorpio King of Cups after the Page of Wands had a breakdown, and that could be a car breakdown as well. Or the Nine of Pentacles Sovereign and the Knight and the Page of Wands broke down or need the car, but the King of Cups is refusing as death seems to loom over the Page of Wands' head. Or the Page of Wands is independent now, perhaps they just got their license and they want their first time out solo. Or the Page of Wands wants the King of Cups to let go of the Page of Cups reversed and let them go out with them, but the Emperor reversed and the Page of Cups reversed may not be talking to each other. Now Aries could be both upright and reversed, or two people, with Cancer reversed and Scorpio upright here. The Emperor comes up as Aries reversed, and the Page of Wands comes up as the Aries who's upright. The King of Cups may be a Scorpio, and the Page of Cups reversed may be a Cancer. The block here is Ascension reversed, perhaps descending, or out of options but to hold back an announcement, with the High Priestess reversed or Pisces reversed. With an adventure, physical activity, but even more so, forgiveness, spirituality, and spiritual career. With the Ace of Cups upright and big love, whether weak or sick, or puppy won't drink the water, or stubborn boar or stubborn bull, knowing and floating the Page of Pentacles, even drunk, dropping the act with no sudden surprises, fighting an ex to detox the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Perhaps comfortably numb in a slow down and release, present to the moment in gifts, no car for the Queen of Pentacles reversed and the Ten of Pentacles family, business, or community, and big love gushing support to detox the shadow web and enjoy the Ten of Cups family or their emotional fulfillment. With the Empress reversed, who couldn't have tried to come back, or not couldn't have, but could have. The Empress reversed, obviously in a negative position there, may have tried to come back, but the lover now has other plans. They're not giving them any more chances. No longer playing with lying or liars and victims, as lovers break up or at a distance and no sex. The group may be upset with the Emperor reversed stepping down for the Sovereign to come up, or lover at a distance and frustrated with a fresh new start with the Divine Feminine 5D and the Queen of Swords reversed, comfortably numb at 5'11", the Hierophant and Justice. In a break up, break down, break in, break out, or break through, with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, with the Ten of Pentacles family, business, or community, and them being supportive of detoxing or the shadow work. And the Knight of Wands with the Hermit in the Mary Magdalene cave, out in the cold, passing messages to each other and rising above the drama, coming out of hiding, the lovers needing clarity. The Five of Wands group, perhaps, in disconnect or at a distance, and the challenge being the Ace of Wands reversed, frustration or lack of inspiration, lack of arousal, lack of humor, not being able to get pregnant or conceive of something or conceptualize something. And the Queen of Swords reversed with the Emperor reversed, with a fresh start, somebody's crown opening, and the Sovereign descending to the Page of Pentacles, drunkenness, or comfortably numb. The Queen of Swords reversed and Pisces reversed, knowing about a breakup or breakdown, break in, out, or through, but didn't tell the Queen of Pentacles reversed, with the Ten of Pentacles family, business, or community offering lots of, or the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Pentacles family offering lots of love and detox to the Ten of Cups family here, which can be like the Montagues and the Capulets. It can also be the immediate family and the extended family, however that works for you, whatever is the financial family and the emotional family. And there is your read for today. All right, so just a few quick cards to wrap it up. And yeah, let's pull an animal card. I'm going to pull you the other animal deck too. All animals. Okay, so this is the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Guidebook. Let's see what animal comes up for you guys. What is our message in summary for all the messages that came through today about the star on the star day, the 17th, and all the 22s of the Fool's Journey that came up, and the story of the two coming together of Betelgeuse and Bellatrix. There's the nightingale purifying the air with their song and their breath. And there's the phoenix rising, big transformation. And the bottom of the deck is the dolphin, Saint Dolphin, really high vibrational, as well as the sweet little hummingbird, or nightingale rather, singing their purifying song as the phoenix rises. It's like, what's the one they sing, where they sing and it makes the, it's like the snake charmer. It's like, that's the energy I'm getting here, but in that, it's a purifying way. So the sweetness of the song and the voice is causing the kundalini to rise, so to speak, or the phoenix rising. And the phoenix rising, by the way, is the root chakra, getting to the root of the problem and purifying the air, clearing the air with the dolphin. So really some really positive energies came up. And the stingray is really well connected. Again, activating the spine, the chakra layers, and being really plugged in to Sandalphon here, and that really happy energy. My Scorpio friend always comes up as the dolphin. That's Judy. I hope Judy's good. Judy had an accident a couple months ago. So let's pull one more animal card here. I'm getting, instead of Julie, I'm getting, but Julie came up too today. Julie and Judy. Julie, Julie, Judy, do you love me? Julie, 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 do you care? It's coming up. It's coming up as Julie and Judy. Maybe Phoenix is coming up for you guys, the dolphins. The Phoenix. Oh, that came up for me yesterday too. There's the Unity. Look how cute they are. The polar bear. Sorry, you can't see that. Look how cute. It's totally like Rudolph, right? And the Misfit toys, and they're coming to talk to the children about that. And there's a little butterfly, but it's all about unity and freedom. The polar bear says, embrace this time of spiritual growth. You may feel called to act as a mentor, find a new teacher, or spend time with others who are also on a sacred path. And let's see what else you got. You got the turtle. The Three of Spring. The sea turtle says, stop to take time to review and make long-term plans, capitalizing on your past successes. It's appropriate to pat yourself on the back for all of your accomplishments, but you may also need patience for the next phase to play out. And there's one more card that wants to come up, and there's the lion. So the King of Spring, right? The King of the Hill was coming up yesterday. And the Katanga lion, now is your moment to step up into a leadership role. Don't back away from the spotlight, as your plans will be successful so long as you stay focused upon the big picture. So it's really, this energy coming up for you guys is really about spreading the word. But there's definitely energy about the unions getting closer as well. And remembering to be patient, remember that you're connected, so whatever you do to yourself, you know, you're affecting others. The king and the turtle, I was just getting Mufasa. And again, you know, teaching your children. And there's the turtle was coming up next, actually. I want to show you that too, because that came up. By the way, the bottom of this deck is the doggies here. The 10 of Autumn, the group, the loyal ones, the golden retriever dog. It says contentment comes from knowing that your finances are secure and your family material needs are taken care of. It's important to honor traditions and have pride in your heritage and the accomplishments of your ancestors. And that's like, the Ten of Pentacles. This is more like a Ten of Cups family, really emotionally fulfilled, and with all the puppies around. And there's the turtle again. All right? Be open to investigating opportunities that come your way, because remember, the turtle is slow. The turtle is here in the underlying energy. And then the turtle came out in these cards, right? And then in this deck, the next card was the turtle. There's a mouse hanging back here too. So they're all hanging in the dark with anxiety. This one's slow, probably slow because they're scared. They have a shell, the one who hides. And then the mouse is always nervous, hiding in the hole there. But it's dark in there. They're trying to clear the air there, having a hard time. And here's the, after the turtle and the mouse is the bee as well. It's like they're coming in to help them, not leaving, like leave no man behind. They're coming back. There's the carpenter bee coming back to help them out, as well as the elephant. And even the wolf who's saying, well, what am I supposed to do? They don't want to follow my lead anymore. But they're coming back to help. And they may have wanted to go on without them, but then the one convinced the others, no, we have to go back and help them. And then we have the swan and the cosmic eggs. The cosmic egg, this is the crown opening, and it's also the collective awakening from the side as opposed to from the top down like the other cards. So this is on the ground with the trenches, the twin flames coming together to help with the collective awakening. So it's after like getting that one last kid out who wasn't quite ready to grow their wings. It's like going back to help them out with that, and then it's time. Look. This is the top down and from the side, the collective awakening from both sides. So when you're looking down upon, it looks like there's dark all the way around, but when you're right next to them on the side, it's all light. Because the twin flames are right there. And again, the energy of Sandalphon and the dolphins. It's actually really good energy. And I'm getting that the nightingale is like it's a call out, or I want to say a calling card, or a call for a part in an act, for acting, to come and clear out the root. It's time to wake up. It's like the 7 trumpets, the seal being broken, and the nightingale is announcing that in a very sweet way. But the phoenix is profound then, coming up from the root, rising. And there's still a few little ones who are scared to deal with it. But overall, it's really beautiful. Look at the underlying energy here. And it's beautiful. Lots of turtles, though. There's that earned energy of being slow. This one's the water turtle. They can go a bit faster. But it says, stop to take time to review and make long-term plans. Capitalizing on your past successes. It's appropriate to pat yourself on the back for all your accomplishments, but you may also need patience for the next phase to play out. So don't get frustrated. And I didn't notice that before, but the lion's talking to the little birdie. So it's like literally these two guys talking. It's like a little birdie told me, and then the lions heard it from the bird, and now the lion's going to go pass it on to everybody else, even though that's actually a phoenix. It's coming up as the king of the hill. He's talking to the bird. See, look, the bear here is talking to the 2 little ones. They're so cute. There's a butterfly there too, and then here's the lion talking to the little one here. And here's the turtle by himself. There's all these little fishies here too, spreading the word, talking to the little ones about these things. Very interesting. I want to pull one more card for you guys. We're going to do we'll do it from the Lenormand deck, the Lenormand Reverie. Just something with humans in it. Okay. What is the overall takeaway? There he is. The man from Mars, the power man. Is he still angry, or is there love in his heart? The 28 of the twin flame. And he's nesting the dream with the Queen of Cups here. Just needs to cut out some of the crap, separate the wheat from the chaff. Maybe dealing with a child here in transition. There you go. Bottom of the deck is, and there could be an older person too with father time was coming up. The 42 of the Two of Cups with direction. And there's the Atlas energy here, right? Needing directions or having direction. Northeast perhaps. After getting a document, a letter, some kind of creative writing, some kind of risky note. Again, the breaking of the 7 seals, the 27 of the Ace of Wands, and the 4D bridge, and coming together with direction, with Atlas direction, with a purpose. That's what I'm getting. Okay? All right. Hope that was helpful for you guys. That was really good messages coming through. It was just 140-40. So remember your water, plenty of water. I've been blowing air bubbles in my water as well as stirring it clockwise direction. It's supposed to correct the molecules. And if you blow your air into it, it's literally, especially with that love intention, you're literally putting your spirit into the water. So remember your water, your rest, your joy, your nature, and just enjoy your life. Rise and be loved. It was just 41-14. I'll see you soon, guys. Have an amazing day. Bye.